What's up, guys? Welcome to our edition of Market Marauders. Beat the market one trade at a time. For you, the Market Marauders, an investment channel, helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Now, today I'll be giving you three dividend stocks. So if you're trying to build a dividend portfolio, and you're new to dividends, dividends are basically payments that companies give you for owning a stock. So if you're interested in learning about dividends, or you want to know more about dividends, I actually have a course that I set up about dividends. It's on a teachable platform. It'll be down in the description below. This is basically what it is. Just goes over, explain some of the things that I talk about. Talk about intro dividends, dividend aristocrats, dogs of the Dow, REITs. We actually build a dividend portfolio, and then there's a dividend tracker. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you look for that in the description down below. Now, with further ado, jumping into three dividends to actually look for or look to that may not be on top of people's radar, but are actually really good dividend companies. Now, this is coming from the Webull platform, so that's what I use to do all my charts, chart analysis. So if you want to join Webull, I have a link down below for that. So jumping into it, we have brown-forman's B class of share. So going to, we can see there a moving average 10 is $61, moving average 50 is $61.30, moving average 100 is $61.36. And they ended the week on the 27th at $61 even. So they ended exactly at their moving average 10. So for dividend investing, the stock price is not the kind of end all be all, but actually the dividends themselves. So, building a dividend portfolio, the stock price may go up and may go down, but the part that you really care about the most is the dividends. So you just want to make sure that you get those dividends and that the company is providing those dividends. Now, jumping into some background information on what the company actually does and what they make, let's do that. Because I think that it's going to be the best information on whether the company is the right pick for you, or maybe you want to go with another company. So the company brown-forman is actually distributor of alcohol. So these are some of the names of the uh, alcohol that they distribute. So Jack Daniels being the biggest one that most people know, Woodsford Reserve, Old Foster, Early Times, Collingwood, Canadian Mist, Cooper's Craft, Slane Irish Whiskey, and then for Scotch they do uh, Binrug, Glendenrock, and I cannot pronounce that one. And then they also do tequila as well for Harendura, uh, Pepe Lopez, and El Jimador. And then they do vodka, which is Finlandia, and then liqueur for Chambord. So may have mispronounced the spelling of a lot of those, or the pronunciation of a lot of those. But some of those may be names that you know. Some of them may be names you don't know. Most people know Jack Daniels, so that's the most popular one that a lot of people know. Canadian Mist also a really popular one. Woodford Reserve is also a really popular one as well. So some names out there that kind of stick out as far as those are concerned. So going to their dividend history, we can see that they actually do pay out a dividend. Now, whatever platform you use, whether it's Webull, Robinhood, or even M1, you know, they definitely have, you get those dividends directly to that account. So just bear that in mind, the dividends go to that account. You don't have to like go and get some other weird thing in order to get that. When you get stock, as long as you have it by these dates, then you get that dividend. So I'll explain what the dates are. The record date is basically the date that you have to have ownership of that share of that stock in order to get that dividend. Pay date is pretty self-explanatory. It's the day that they pay you. The amount, which tells you how much they pay you. Frequency, quarterly, which means every 3 months you'll get that amount, and this is the amount that they show. Announcement date. So this is basically the date that the company announces that they're going to have the dividend. And the ex-dividend date and the record date is basically the date that they record, um, and the date that you need to have it by. So, you know, just bear that in mind that those are the different dates in order to get that dividend. So, as long as you have a share of that company, then you'll get those dividends. And, they actually make pretty popular drinks. I don't see, Jack Daniels or uh, Canadian Mist or any of these companies going out of business anytime soon. So, definitely a good long-term hold, in my opinion, as far as stocks are concerned. So, going into another one, we got ticker sign MKC, and this is for McCormick. So, going into the background of where they are financially as of the 27th of June. Their moving average 10 is 175.98. Moving average 50 is 176.01. And moving average 100 is 176.26. So they ended the week at 176.25. So they are above their moving average 50 and moving average 10. And just a penny below their moving average 100. So, doing pretty well. I think they also have earnings coming up, so that may have something to do with it as well. But, you know, very large, well-known company. Let's jump into some of the things they make. Now they make seasonings, spices. This is just some of the spices that they have on there. Some stuff you see all the time: curry powder, dill seed, dillweed, cinnamon sugar, cinnamon, um, cilantro leaves, chipotle chili peppers, uh, chili powder, cumin, fennel seeds, minced garlic powder. Things of that nature, stuff people use every day, all the time. All people use it. You know, every time they're cooking. Restaurants use it. People who cook at home use it. Just a household name in general as far as spices are concerned. So, according to their dividend history, we can see that uh, they have been paying out a dividend in 2020. They paid out a dividend in 2019. This is their history of their 2019 dividends. So they actually raised their dividend price at the end of 2019 to 62 cents per actual share that you own. So this amount is per share. So, if you um, basically have two shares, then you just multiply two times this amount. So, went from 52 cents to 57 cents, 57 cents to 62 cents, which is something very good and something to consider when picking a dividend to choose. You want to get a dividend that is continuously growing, so that means the more shares you own, the more money you get, essentially, and you're getting more money as time goes on. So I think that's something people really don't consider when thinking about dividends. Is the companies that increase their dividends means you get more money. So let's say you have 5 shares, and you get like $10. If the company is increasing their dividend, next quarter you may get you know $10.20, or you may get $10.50, and then next quarter you get $10.30, and that's just all for holding the stock. You do nothing but just hold the stock in your portfolio. So dividends do have the ability to compound very quickly. Compounding interest is something that helps you grow your account very fast, and very efficiently by you just holding them. So dividends, can help to build your account, but it's slow long-term growth. But basically, the more that it compounds, or the more that it grows, the more money you basically make as an investor. So jumping to the last one, we got ticker sign ALB, which may be one people don't know much about, for uh, Alba Alba Marley, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Struggle with the pronunciation of that. Um, but their moving average 10 is 74.64, moving average 50 is 74.54, moving average 100 is 74.20, and they ended the week at 74.64, so they're above their moving average 50 and moving average 100, and they are at their moving average 10, which is where they ended the week at. So, pretty good metrics. Seem to be on a little bit of a bullish trend going up, so that's good. Bear in mind this is the 1 month chart. I mean 1 minute chart, so maybe a little dramatic. If we zoom out, we may see it may not be as bullish as we're projecting it to be. Yeah, it's still pretty bullish. So, um, just bear that in mind. Going into some background information on them. This is all public information. I just Googled, the company and press releases. But we can see they have the stock price on here. Um, and it's basically just to explain what they do and what they are. Their headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina, global specialty chemical company with leading positions in lithium, bromine, and refilling catalysts. Uh, so, lithium, something people use to make batteries, and one company that may also be considered as far as this whole, people switching to electric cars, it may be a long shot, but, lithium is in majority of batteries. So a company that, specializes in production of lithium could be more lucrative as a company in general and not just as for dividends are concerned. So it may be a good long-term company just to hold, just for the fact that, lithium batteries continue to grow. More electric vehicles are being made by whatever manufacturer, whether that's um, you know, Nikola Motors or Tesla, or Ford or GM. They all use lithium-ion batteries. So or so far they all use lithium-ion batteries or batteries of that sort that use lithium. So you know something to consider as far as a company to hold. Going into some of their dividend information, this is on their website as well. So we can see that they have been paying out a dividend. They paid out a dividend. They got the 2019 dividends they paid out, which was 87 cents. In 2018, they paid 82 cents a share. Now they're paying 87 cents a share in 2019, and they raised their dividend payout to 96 cents a share. So just like McCormick, they've increased their dividend payout ratio, or how much they pay out per dividend. So that's always a good metric to have. Just like the previous example, you basically have made more money by holding it. So, you've got basically from 2018 to 2019, you got a 5 cent raise by not doing anything but holding the dividend. So, just something to consider. Another way of investing, dividend stocks are definitely a good way to grow your portfolio for the long term. And, keep reinvesting those dividends to grow your account. And it'd definitely be a lot lucrative. I know some people actually supplement their income with dividends, so they may pay bills or something like that with their dividends. But it's a continuous growth thing. Just put money aside to grow your account. If you want to know how to start that, just go back in the description. I definitely have a course where you can sign up to learn more about that. Also have once you get the course, you can be a part of the Discord group where I'm available to talk about more about dividends or stocks in general. So just bear that in mind. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what stocks you guys are looking at, whether it's dividend, penny stocks, growth stocks. Drop a comment down below. Tell me how you guys are investing. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.